What's good, y'all? It's Akira here, back with another video. Guys, I have been wanting to do this forever, and I figured this would be the best time to do it. Christmas just passed, and a lot of you guys have gotten Cricuts for Christmas, and you need to learn how to use them. So I'm making a video on a comprehensive video on how you can get up and running with Cricut, how to use Design Space, how to get know what you need to get started, the materials and all that good stuff. I will make sure that everything that I talk about is linked down in the description box. Hit that little arrow, description box will open and all my links will be down there, so you can find whatever I talk about in this video. And also I will link all my other videos on ideas on what you can make with your Cricut once you get up and running. So this is really for beginners, to make sure you know how to get working and get moving with your Cricut. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So this is the Maker 3 and this is the Explore Air 2. So I wanted to show you a newer one and an older one depending on which option you purchased. And I want to just talk about some of the main supplies that you'll need to actually get started, which no one kind of tells you about when you get a Cricut. So mats. If you have the Maker 3, mats are not necessary, but you can use them. You would need Smart Iron-On, which is like a Cricut based iron-on. That's a special size that you can load directly into the machine, and it can be used without a mat. Now, if you have any other Cricut besides the Maker 3 or the Explore Air 3, you will need to use a mat for your projects, which for the Explore Air 2, you would need that. They have 3 different types of mats. You don't have to get Cricut brand because Cricut has been out long enough where there's, knockoff version of these things. But I want to talk to you about which each one is and what they're good for. So the green is the regular grip mat. This mat is for vinyl projects, things that are not that thick. This is the mat that you would use most often, and which I use most often. Next you have, and don't judge me because these have been used. Next is the light grip mat. So this is for what I would recommend for like paper projects, more fragile materials that you want to cut and you don't want them to stick on to the mat too tightly that they'll rip or anything like that. So sticker paper, card paper. Cricut has a whole list of recommendations on what mat you should use for what, but light grip is definitely a good option for those thinner materials. Now this one, and don't judge her because I use her a lot, this is the strong grip mat. So this is the purple mat, this is the strong grip, which you see down here, and you could tell she has been used. It has leftover wood chips on it because this is a mat that you use for those thicker materials. If you have chipboard that you want to cut, if you have foam that you want to cut, if you have fabric that you want to cut, this is the mat to use because it has that stronger grip and allows your material to go through the machine without sliding off. So mat 101, I hope that was simple enough to understand and easy to use. Now, Cricut tools. So some Cricut tools are necessary, some are not, and I'll kind of go over what my favorite are. So for weeding, weeding means that you want to take off the access to reveal your design with vinyl, and this is the weeding tool. I use this a lot. This is actually a really older one. As you can tell, it has a lot of wear and tear in it, but I really like this because the tips of them are so sharp. It's not really focusing, but you can definitely see how sharp they are. I have a few of them. This is a newer tool. As you can tell, it's a little less worn and the tip is really sharp and it helps you weed options. Also, you have your scraping tool. You use this to actually press your materials onto the mat so that they are on flush and that they'll go to the Cricut smoothly and be able to cut it. So that is what this is for. Also Cricut scissors, they actually come with a little cover, but for whatever reason I never put it back on. But these are the Cricut scissors. I actually recommend getting these because they cut through vinyl really well. I've tried craft scissors and other things, and these are just the right size and the right sharpness to cut through the material that you need. As you can see, I have 2 sets of these because I really enjoy them, and they're something that I recommend you get that's Cricut branded. But these are scissors. These help you cut vinyl. They help you just do a lot of things that, you know, Cricut requires a lot of cutting with vinyl and that type of stuff, transfer tape, all that good stuff. So these are a good tool to have. Also, this multi-tool, I recommend everyone get this as well. This is Cricut branded. What this does, let me rotate views so I can show you how it works. This is a multi-tool, and so what happens is it comes with all these different items you can use. It has an X-Acto knife kind of thing, also pickers. It has a pointer. It's really great, and if you're going to invest in any tools, I would invest in this, and it has everything that you need, so you don't have to buy a whole bunch of weeding tools. What's great about this is you literally just slip whatever option you want to use. You literally just slip your pen on top, you press the button, and it releases the tool for you. So you can have whatever tool that you want on here, and then once you're done, you just put it back in the holder, press the button down, and it's back in its case. I love this. It's so functional, especially when you need to switch out to different things while you're creating. Great tool to have. As you can see here, there's all types of materials that you can cut with Cricut. This is glitter cardstock. I have sticker paper. I have felt. Let me show you the felt, which is pretty cool. Felt. I mean, there's so many things that you can cut with Cricut. I have just regular vinyl, which people usually start with, smart vinyl. There's all types of materials that you can cut with. What the biggest thing is you want to know about your cutting options, which will be within Design Space. If you have the Maker 3 or the Maker 2, if you have the Explore Air 2, you will have to choose what material you're cutting on the dial, if that will focus. If you have the 2, you have to pick which option you want on the dial. They have paper, vinyl, iron-on, like cardstock, bonded fabric, poster, and cardstock. You can also pick within Design Space, and I'll show you that. But that is the options on the Air 2. What you'll need if you do any vinyl projects is you'll need transfer tape. This is going to, you'll put the transfer tape onto the cutout of whichever you cut out, and then you'll use this to transfer the item onto your actual project, whether it's a glass, a sign, whatever. And I'll show you actually how it works in a little bit deeper into the video, and I'll make sure I put chapters in case you want to skip ahead. Now on to the presses. These are 2 Cricut heat presses. They are super easy to use, and I'll kind of just show you really quickly the options. They have the power, the temperature, the timer, and then that's how you up or lower the temperature, and the on and off button. These are used to, like I said, with heat transfer vinyl, to transfer your design onto a clothing piece, a blanket, you know, whatever you want to use the option for. And these are what you use. So you would use this in conjunction with the mat in order to make a project, to protect your surface, protect your project, and also protect your heat mat. Also, another material is the heat mat. So if you want to do heat transfer vinyl, which means that transfers with heat, that's good for clothing, shorts, you know, t-shirts, that type of thing, you would want a heat mat. What this does is it protects your surfaces from the heat press, which can get up to, I believe it goes up to 400 to 500 degrees. So this helps protect your item and your surfaces from heat damage. Okay, so I hope that was easy to kind of learn the materials and everything that you need to get started, and kind of what goes with what machine and how everything works, because that's something that I was really confused about at first. It took me a lot of time before I bought the right supplies with trying to just figure out how everything works. So that is the first thing to get out of the way. Now I'm going to take you into Design Space, show you how you can use that to actually make your creations, and then last but not least, I will show you how to actually get in there and start making things, and kind of explain to you from footage of a few projects that I've done in the past. So let's just do it. It looks like when you first log in, as you can see here, it says welcome Akira. Here you can access projects that you've made in the past, and here it'll show you the machine that you have connected to your Design Space currently. Because I have all of the machines, you'll see all of them here. But yes, so if you want to go ahead and get a project started, the easiest thing to do is select new project. From here, it will open up Design Space. Now, there's a few things in here that I want to talk to you about before we show you more about Design Space. So these numbers up here and on the left side are significant. What I did forget to mention when I showed you guys the mats is that the numbers that line up on the mat are going to correspond with the numbers in Design Space. These each represent an inch. So if you are making a cup and you know that your design needs to be 2 inches, then you'll need to make sure that your design ends, and this is 1 inch, this is 2 inches, your design ends here, and then it ends here as well. So this will be a 2-inch project, and that's how you determine what size to make your objects before you go ahead and cut them out. So that is really, really important. From here, there's a few things on the side that are also important as well. If you want to create a new project, that is the option here, templates. So Cricut has tons of templates that you can use and that you can insert into your projects just for giggles and fun. This is a template of a pair of shorts. This will allow you to then kind of say, okay, this is a pair of shorts. Where do I want to put my emblem? Say you want to put something right here. This gives you a nice template so that you can see what it would look like if you actually put this on a pair of shorts. So once we're going to go ahead and move from the templates, I'm going to show you projects. Projects are pre-made projects that Cricut has created that you can go in and create for yourself. So just for instance, this Be Kind shirt. You can go ahead and you can make this shirt without doing anything additional. What is so nice about this is if you want to just create simple things, but you don't really have the necessarily skills to be able to know how to design things just yet, this is a really easy way to get started. What happens is they show you that it's an easy project and it takes about 30 minutes to an hour. And you want to make sure and that it provides you the design size and also what materials that you need to use. So to make the same exact shirt, you would need everyday iron-on in white, and these are the other materials that you would need in order to make this project. This is a great way to start to make things, just to know how to get started. And if you want to go ahead and put this on your canvas, you would just select Make It. Then you don't even have to do anything else. You will go ahead and pick your this is showing without mat or on mat because I have this connected to my Maker 3. But this is a very easy way to start a project that you may or may not know how to create. So images are pre-made images from that Cricut provides to you that you can make projects from. So if you don't necessarily want to learn how to make graphics, but you still want to make projects, this is a great place to choose from. I'm subscribed to Cricut Design Space because I'm a Cricut partner, but these, if it didn't have this little A on here, that means that you wouldn't have access to it. So if you want to use this, I love this little face. These are really popular in like home decor and stuff like that. So you find an option that you want to use. So first, let me actually show you how to search. So say you want to make a baseball shirt and you needed a baseball. You would go ahead and type in baseball here, and it gives you a variety of baseballs that you could use and that you could insert into your project. So very easy to search. I'm going to go back in and insert the face because I really like that, and show you a few things once you actually get an object added onto your canvas. Okay, so you've gone to images, you found an image that you like, and now you have this on the canvas. There's a few things that you want to make sure about. This number at the top shows you the exact inches that the design is. So this is 6.202 inches and this is 8.76 inches. That means that's how big that the project is going to be. Now, if you want to make it smaller, very easy to do. You just take this little arrow button and you change the sizing. Another way that you can do this is you can change the sizing up here. Say for instance you wanted the width to be 5 inches, you would just type in a 5 and this will automatically resize it so it's not warped. Now if you really needed a specific height and you don't want allowed it to automatically calculate, you would click this little lock button to unlock it, and then I could make it a 5 by 5 and it would just be a little bit warped, but that's how you can do that. Also, we want to undo that. You know what? We don't like that size. So let me show you how to undo things. This little back arrow will allow you to reverse any changes that you've made onto your image. Another thing that you want to pay attention to is here, the operation, basic cut. What that means is that this is going to do a basic cut and cut out the shape with the Cricut and the blade that you have attached. So that's something that I don't really use much, but I wanted to show you guys it's available. Also, it's really easy to like flip your image. Very easy to do that. Very easy to duplicate your image if you want 2 of them, or if you want to just go ahead and delete it without hitting the back button, you can do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and also show you guys how to rotate, because that's something that people use often. Go ahead and rotate that thing, and there you go. So you would be able to go ahead and just hit make it from here, and you can go ahead and make your artwork. Now this pops up because I have the Maker 3. I could do this without the mat or on the mat. So really, if you're using smart materials, that's the only time you would click without the mat, and any other machine, or if you're using the mat, you would click on the mat. From here, this looks just like a Cricut mat, and this is an important part. So when you cut your vinyl out, you'll need to make sure that you at least cut 5 inches of vinyl wide, and you'll need to cut at least 7. I don't like to cut it half parts. I like to make sure that it's completely covered. So you would cut 7 inches by 5 inches, and you would put your piece of vinyl here so that it could have enough space to cut out your item. From here, obviously my Cricut is not connected to this computer that I'm using, but you'd be able to go ahead and get your project started. If you ever want to cancel, you hit your cancel button down here, click yes, and it'll bring you back, and you have to hit cancel one more time, and it'll bring you back into the design space. So I don't want to make this a super long tutorial, but I do want to show you a few other things. So say you have an image and now you want to add a name to this. So I'm going to put my name here, and I'm going to just add some text to this design just to make it super cute for like a t-shirt or something. And as you see, guys, I did a little rotate, you know, a few different things here. Very easy, just like using Microsoft with the fonts. You just click the option here. Now you can upload your own fonts, and I think that if you guys would like another video on this, I can show you how to do that. But just to start out, these are the fonts that Cricut has available. I'm just going to pick one just so you guys can see how easy it is to change a font. From here, you are done. Now, say for instance, you want to cut this out, but you want to assure that you can cut both pieces with one piece of vinyl. You want to select both of these, and you want to attach them. What this is going to do is it's going to tell the Cricut that this is one picture and that it needs to be cut together, because sometimes if you don't do this, I'll show you how it works. You hit the back button and you hit make it. What Cricut is going to do is it's going to try to position it so you use the least vinyl as possible. It didn't do it on this one, but in other projects that you get started, you'll see what I'm talking about. Oh, I didn't detach them. I take that back. So now let me show you. So you see how it moves the Kera over here instead of here. That's why you want to make sure that you weld your project so it considers it as one piece. The next thing is just shapes. If you want to add, you know, just plain shapes to your project, that's very easy to do. You just add a little heart here, and now you took a Cricut image and made it a little bit more custom. Now upload. Upload is a very important option as well. As you can see, if you make your own projects, upload will be available to you to create your own things. So these are all things that I've made and then I've uploaded. Once you upload your image, let me find something to upload and then I'll be right. This was a little image thing that I had. So once you upload, you can upload anything into Design Space, and you want to erase the background so that Cricut can cut it. Usually I go with simple, and now it's great. Cricut has a background remover. So it can instantly remove the background for you, and then you hit comply and continue. There's other things where you can do a manual erase. Like if there's pieces that didn't come off, you could do that. You can erase it with the actual eraser tool like that. And then also the back button is available for you in this screen too. And say you want to start over from scratch, you can go ahead and restore the image back to where it was. Also, a new feature that Cricut has added that I think is super special is that you can use a preview to see how it would actually be cut out. So once you hit comply and continue, this is another important thing. So a cut image means that you're going to actually be cutting out this with vinyl or with another material, just the letter part, right? If you want a print then cut, that means that you're gonna print this image out on a computer or something, and then you would put it into Cricut to print it out. So you wouldn't be using vinyl or anything like that. You'd be using like sticker paper or material like that. So for this, I'm just gonna do a cut image and hit upload, and now it'll be available to you in your recent uploads. Once you do that, you will go ahead, and if you wanted to add this to your, select the option, you'll see it in green, select add to canvas, and there you go. You took your image from wherever you got it from and added it to your canvas to be cut out. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that, but I just wanted to show you guys that. So those are pretty much the main things that you'll use on here. Once you get more advanced, there's obviously other things that you can do and learn how to make. But once you come up with your design, you would select make it. Like I showed you again, we would just go with however you're going to be cutting, with the mat or without it. You can also select it here as well in the material size. So most mats are 12 by 12. There are other mat sizes. There's a 12 by 24, which is the really, really long mat, as you can see. There's tons of different things that you can change it to, but most likely you'll be using the 12 by 12. That's where the default is. So yeah, once you hit continue, mine is not set up, but I'll show you that process as well. Cricut machine that you're going to be using. Just for this example, I'm going to set my base material as vinyl. So I don't know why it's just showing one, but you can select browse on materials. In here you can put in vinyl and search. It'll give you all the types of vinyls that's available. Just choose a vinyl that you have. I'm just gonna put premium mosaic vinyl, whatever. From here, it'll ask you to select a pressure. Usually if your machine is brand new, you just select default. This shows you what tool you need to use and how you can start the process. Once you hit go, which I'll do in a second, your machine will start to detect the materials. Because I didn't put anything in my machine, it's not going to show here, and then it'll show you what percent is being cut once it's actually being cut. But I'm not cutting anything, just for an example. I hope that made sense for you, how everything you got done in Design Space, how it works, how you can make things work, some of those little caveats that are a little bit confusing when you first get started, and what it means if you're going to be using like regular materials versus like heat transfer vinyl, because that's the only one that has like that little extra thing you have to do. So I hope that makes sense. Don't forget to leave your comments down below, because I may make a part 2 to this, just because I know everything that I can't talk about everything in one video, because it would just be 3 hours long. So let's get into actually making projects and kind of breaking down what you do to actually make a project and get started creating. So I'm gonna be putting the design on these little storage cans. This is how it came, but I ended up painting the two that I'm going to be using a nice pink color, and I'm going to be adding the floral design on to these. And I got this beautiful sampler pack of Cricut vinyl. It has, I took it out already, but here's the smart vinyl package, and look at all these beautiful colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the vinyl into my Cricut Joy and get cutting. So this is a project I did a while back. As you can see here, with the smart vinyl, all you have to do is actually just load the vinyl into the machine, and it'll put it in itself. Then it's gonna go ahead, once you put your image in Design Space, it's going to cut out that image that you created. Once it's done, it'll spit the vinyl back out, and then it'll be time to weed and then apply the vinyl onto your project, which for this one was those cute little pink containers. So once the machine got done cutting all the vinyl, I went ahead and weeded it. It's kind of out of focus, but you can see I kind of started it with my nails because those are sharp. Then I went in with my tool and got the edge off so that I could go ahead and start weeding it. Some projects you can weed like this, some you can't. It just depends on the image and how thick it is and all that good stuff. But these leaves were thick enough for me to just go ahead and pull the excess vinyl off to reveal the leaves. This part is super easy, and it's my favorite part of the creating process. So once everything is weeded, then you have to go ahead and apply your transfer tape, so then you can transfer the vinyl onto your object, which, like I said, mine is the pink container. So I just cut mine to size. As you can see, I don't do any measurements or anything fancy. I don't think I use my Cricut scissors on this one, but I use some scissors to go ahead and cut out the transfer tape. Then you peel the transfer tape off of the backing. I just did 2 of these at the same size because I have 2 different images that I cut. But you peel the tape off of the backing, you apply it on top of your image, or your vinyl, whatever you cut out, and then that'll allow you to then place those objects onto your project, and you'll see that here now.
Two out the door, then you have magic.
Also, this part is not necessary for a lot of projects, but because I was going to be randomly placing these, I wanted to cut out each individual leaf so I could place them on the round object. Once you get that done, you'll see here how easy it is to then pull the item off of the backing with your transfer tape. Sometimes it doesn't come off right away, and that's what you use your smoothing tool for, to smooth down the transfer tape to make sure that it sticks. So once you get a hang of it, it's really easy to do. As you can see a little bit off camera, I'm smoothing down each piece, applying it on with the transfer tape, and then removing the transfer tape and the vinyl sticks. And that is how you create a Cricut project with a Cricut, any Cricut, but for this instance, I was using my Cricut Joy. And I couldn't leave you guys hanging. Here's the final project and how they turned out. These were just for some cute bathroom storage, so you can store those Q-tips and all that good stuff and make it look pretty.
Then you've got the fair energy. This is with Archangel Uriel and Joliel, and this is about the fair.
As you can see here, I got my Maker 3, and I have my roll holder. Guys, this Maker 3 is truly a game changer when making things with vinyl. I got my smart vinyl here in black, and I'm going to go ahead and create my pillow. Sometimes it's a little hard to open these boxes because Cricut makes sure that your items are sealed up really well. So let's go ahead and cut into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and load the heat transfer vinyl. You know, shiny side always goes down, and you're just gonna slide it through this compartment here, and then I'm gonna slide her into the Cricut. Let's see. Ooh, love it. So easy. Then you're gonna line up the vinyl into the machine and just make sure that it's even. Looks a little uneven. There we go. She wasn't trying to go in. Okay. And then what's beautiful is once your design is done, you can just slice it and boom. You don't have to cut, you don't need scissors, anything. So this is truly amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and have the vinyl go into the machine, and we are going to start cutting. Oh, after it measures, obviously. So the roll holder has a built-in blade, so you just slide that across to cut out your vinyl, and then you take away your image that you're actually going to be using and save your extra vinyl. Now for this project, I actually used a Cricut pillowcase blank because they're like the highest quality pillowcase blanks that I've come across. for their price range. So they're really great to use. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how easy it is to use heat transfer vinyl, and kind of the same method that I showed you before, but this is obviously with heat transfer vinyl, and you're going to be transferring the vinyl onto a fabric material. And as you can see, I always weed my projects like a maniac. I just start them and just start pulling off the vinyl. It works a lot of the time, but sometimes I rip my vinyl, so don't be like me and do it the right way.
It does take a little bit more effort to get it going. Once you get it going, it's pretty satisfying. So I'm just putting the press on right now for the pillow, just to get the crease out. So it looks, the design won't have a crease in it. So it's all ready. I'm so excited because this is like a super modern pillow design. I decided to do it up and down, so it is a little bit close to the ends, but that's how I wanted it. Wanted to be super modern. And you know, obviously I'm gonna have to heat this up in sections, so I'm gonna start at the bottom, then move towards the top. But I really love this design. It's gonna make for a super modern pillow. And my heat press is almost ready, and I'm gonna go ahead and just use another paper sheet just to protect, you know, just a little protection. And what I'm gonna do is heat at 315, which I always use my Cricut heat settings so I don't have to remember this. 315 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 seconds with light pressure. So I'm gonna go ahead, and we're almost there. Stuck at 320. It's coming down. Look at that. There she goes. She knew it was time to record. I'm gonna go ahead and press the heat press down here and do my 30 seconds. So I did have to do this in two sections, but ultimately she's ready and it's time to peel. Oh, guys, I love this. It's so modern. It's like a pillowcase that you would actually purchase from a store.
You guys know I wouldn't leave you hanging. Here is the final result for the pillow project that I started, to show you guys how easy it is to use heat transfer vinyl and make something really cool. Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, but I hope that it was very helpful and it kind of got you to be able to understand what you need, how everything works, and what you can do to kind of start getting going and making the supplies that you need to purchase. Because unfortunately, unless you buy a bundle, you still have to buy all these other things to get started creating. But once you buy it, it's kind of a one-time shot, and then you can start creating whatever you want with your materials. I mean, there's thousands of things that you can make. There's tons of videos out there on what you can make. Check mine out because mine are the best. That's why you're here, right? But definitely check those out. I hope this was good. Let me know if you want a part 2 and things that weren't covered and what you would like to be covered, because I can definitely do that, because you guys know I'm here for you. So hopefully this helped. And once you get started, I'm telling you, it's so fun to use. There's so many things you can make. Your family's gonna actually start making things from them, your friends, and all that good stuff. So without further ado, guys, I will see you in the next one.